who is actually listening to the practitioners? I know the vendors talk to them, and that's good. You know, they have wares to sell, and, you know, many of them are genuinely interested in moving their industry forward, but there are very few events where there is real collaboration between major corporations, their practitioners, policymakers, and yes, the vendors who build the tech that make it all happen. I'm Mike McDowell, NAND Research, coming to you from my studio in the great state of Texas, where there's no other place I would rather be. Now, I just got back from the UTC conference in Minnesota. Now, I go to a lot of enterprise tech conferences. Most of them feel like a vendor carnival with like a keynote attached. I'm looking at you, RSAC, with your Tom Cruise lookalikes and bulked up wrestlers. Hey, I love it, but UTC is different. I went there because I wanted to talk to actual practitioners, the people who keep utilities running, not the people who keep marketing departments running. They're my friends, but I wanted to talk to the nuts and bolts guys. And that's the thing about UTC. The conversations here are real. These are the folks who have to make connectivity work in substations, in the field, in the middle of nowhere, in weather that would make a Cisco rep cry. Now, yes, there were tons of vendors there and some good ones. In fact, I spent time with Digi, who had a strong presence and a great open house early in the week. Thanks for the invite, guys. OneLayer, always sharp, always focused on real world utility. Fortinet, bringing the security muscle. And then there's Cisco. Cisco had a booth here, and here's what I appreciated. While half the company was melting in the Las Vegas heat at that other conference, they actually sent the industry experts up here to Minneapolis. They made sure the right people were there. The folks who understand substations, field realities, the operational side of connectivity. You know, I'm sorry they had to miss out on that shrimp cocktail on the Las Vegas Strip, but those are the people they sent to Minneapolis, the ones who get in the trenches with customers. And, you know, honestly, that's the right call. But to really understand why UTC matters and why this conference feels different, I wanted to go straight to the top because, hey, I don't mess around. So I sat down with Rusty Williams, the CEO of UTC, and asked him to share the history of the organization and why it's so important to the utility industry. Check out what he had to say.
Yeah, so UTC has been around for over 75 years. And the organization started back then helping utilities work with the FCC to get licenses for their radio systems. And, you know, over time that's evolved into a much broader viewpoint just as technology's evolved. So where it was just two-way radios, 75 years ago, that still exists, but you're looking at fiber systems, you're looking at it more of an enterprise IT kind of environment, all satellites, all those things. The organization, from a strategic perspective, has three primary purposes. One is to share information amongst its members, and that could be true information, it could be education, any of that stuff. The second part is networking, so we're bringing industry people together to be able to talk. Right? And it's interesting for the utility space, they don't compete with each other. Right? And so they're willing to share when they have problems or when they have issues with what they're doing. And then the third part is what I call influence. It's more the policy making aspect, trying to shape the policy at a federal level to try to help the industry get what it needs to be successful.
Okay, so now you get my point, right? That's what I love about UTC. It's not hype, it's not buzzwords, it's not a parade of vendors trying to convince you that your grid will collapse unless you buy their newest AI-driven dashboard. It's practitioners talking to practitioners. It's real world problems, real deployments, real lessons learned, and Rusty, along with the rest of UTC, is there to back it all up. And honestly, that's rare, guys. I cover a lot of enterprise tech events, and UTC stands out because the end users are the center of gravity here. They are the forces pulling from the center of the earth, not the vendors. So if you work in utilities, critical infrastructure, private wireless, or anything that touches operational technology, first, thank you. We love you guys. Secondly, UTC is worth your time. Start planning, guys. Next year, the conference is in Las Vegas. And if this year is any indication, it's going to be a strong one. Check out UTC, get involved, and come meet the people who are actually moving this industry forward. And if Cisco brings the same utility-focused experts to Vegas next year, you'll know that they probably watched this video and they're serious about showing up where the real conversations happen.